everybody. It's Sunday, as always.
Whew.
This is Clan Fett in the building. We will have a special guest today. She will join us at some point. She's feeling a little under the weather, but she's still gonna make an appearance. So shout out to her for that. But yo, John, how we doing this Sunday, bro? I know we talked a little bit off screen, but let the people know how we doing this morning.
We're good, man. For the homies that don't know, I was at a wedding Friday yesterday and the day before. I got my wife and I. We woke up at like 4:45 today. Got on the road, drove 3.5 hours from San Diego. Got here about 20 minutes ago. So if I'm squinty-eyed, chat, I apologize. Your boy is cooked, but we are here. I wouldn't miss it. I'm happy to be here, man.
Love it. Yes, and we're glad that you had a good weekend, bro. Because weddings are fun. It's always supposed to be a good time. And yeah, the early mornings come by real quick, the day after a wedding. So
Oh yeah.
that's just how it goes. But so yeah, dude, before we talk about the chat, we talked a little bit last week after the watch parties on both of our channels for Maul Shadow Lord episode 1 and 2. I did a rewatch yesterday with my wife. We did a little diamond painting and rewatched the first two episodes, and I was just like, man, this really is, top tier Star Wars. And it's pretty crazy that we've actually gotten to that point. And, I'll always be happy that we're getting new Star Wars all the time, no matter what it is. But one thing I will say is I guess I didn't really see how visually stunning it is in 4K because our basement TV is 4K,
Hmm.
and for the watch party, I was watching it on the iPad. So
Yep.
Apple has good quality, but nothing like that 4K, man. Like, did you notice that too? Like, did you, however you watched it?
Yep, because I did the same thing for the watch party. I was on the iPad. And then, you get over to, you throw it on a TCL or a Samsung TV. And it just, I mean, again, yeah, I've been hyping on the animation, but it's like, dang, man, you see it and it's just so visually stunning.
Uh, it's just, oh my God, dude, it's just so good. And the more, because we're nerdy Star Wars fans. We're always trying to figure out like the newest things that the producers and writers and directors are saying about these projects. But it's so crazy how they're incorporating Sam Witwer's scream into the lightsaber effects. It's crazy how they're actually using glass painting like watercolors, and like
Hmm.
you and I spotted that way early. Like we knew that there are some parts where it's like the background is just a still painting, and man, it's just so good on top of a great story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And man, again, I saw a lot of people and like, there's been a lot of hype, we talk about the Rotten Tomatoes, Rotten Tomato score, the
Tomatoes.
yeah, tomatoes, man. We talk about the different all this things coming in. It's like 95%, highest rated Star Wars show, blah 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 blah. And they're just keeping to it, dude. Like I love how they're
Yeah.
embracing the hype and they're just like fueling it really. They're just taking everything in and they're like, well, okay, let's run it, man. Money on red.
Yeah. Yeah, get me there, man. You know what I'm saying? I just went ahead and put up a poll in the chat, guys. Let us know. Are you excited for tonight's episodes? Episodes 3 and 4. Just put a poll up. Go hit that. And also be sure to like the video. Of course, you know what I'm saying? If you're here watching and you like us, you might as well just like the video, no matter where you're watching it. The simple things, right? Anyways, yeah, so insane how we already have 8 folks in here. We really, really love to see that. Actually, John, have you always had the Death Star behind you? The LED Death Star?
No, that was I had the TIE fighter the other day, man, and then I slipped this on because that it gives me like Death Star plan vibes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, wait, last week you're switching up on me, man. Dude, that's sick.
It's pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, it looks nice in the background.
Oh shit, change colors. Anyways.
Beautiful. I love it. Man, let's go ahead and check out the chat. We got 9 folks in here already. Love to see it all. Mando United. What would it wouldn't be a stream without Mando. Wouldn't
Mando
be
and
a stream
Hodger.
without Haja.
Yep.
Oh, what's he saying? What's he saying already? This is where the Sunday begins. That's right. Never a dull moment. The homie Skywalk and Ryan, happy Sunday. How is everyone? We're good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, man.
How's the weather in the southeast? How we looking over there? What's the weather like? Boba Fett in the Hangover clan this week. Oh my goodness, Jessica's here.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. I don't
Good.
know if y'all do y'all remember the Princess Diaries movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay, like the Miracles Happen song?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's been playing in my head all morning. Like I made it happen, guys.
Oh yes, you did make it happen. Good to see you. Have you been?
I've been good. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold, so ignore the congestion.
Oh,
How
ain't
dare
nothing
you
but a
have a
thing.
cold in the Midwest? How dare you?
Ugh, I know. At first I thought it was maybe allergies in the pollen, but no, no, a cold got me.
Yeah, that's the worst. Well, like I said, I'm glad you joined us today. We appreciate it. Um, but yeah, so everyone, if you haven't seen or know of Jessica, actually, we'll give the floor to you. That way, you can let everyone know where they can find you, what you're about. She's a businesswoman. She's a Star Wars creator. She does everything cosplay. Just here, the floor is yours. Go and let them know.
Well, I have a podcast YouTube channel that I have started back up as Rebellion of Hope. And so all the handles are I just have the YouTube channel, Instagram, and Threads right now. And it's the Rebellion of Hope is the handle for all of those. And I just focus on sharing fan Star Wars stories. So, why it resonates with you, why you like it, why different characters or movies or shows mean something special to you in your life. So, kind of try to bridge the gap between it's okay to maybe something not be like your flavor of Star Wars and that's fine, but it might mean something special to somebody else and kind of understanding more why that is for other people. And then I started a business the end of last year called Asteria Outpost, kind of for all us nerdy, creative type people. I do have some guy stuff. It's kind of limited right now. I would like to continue to carry guys clothing, but we'll see. But I kind of just focus on just kind of fun things that aren't always out there, and also items that people especially I guess more the girlies can use for fandom type inspired looks, whether it's bounding or geek chic type things, that stuff. So
Yeah, sweet. Hell yeah, guys.
so
If
that's what
you
I've been up to.
Yeah, good for you. Glad everything's going good on your side. Yeah, guys, go check out everything she does on her side of the channels and the business side too. It's pretty cool. I I don't have too many friends that have like their own businesses and stuff, so like when they do, it's like
Sorry,
hell
my
yeah,
dog's in here.
good for you. Oh, that's fine. Dogs are welcome. Clan Fet, we love animals. But as today we're talking just a little bit about Maul. What have you what did you take from the first two episodes, Jessica? What are your quick thoughts on Maul Shadow Lord?
I am very intrigued to see. I feel like this is a show that I know a lot of people are really excited about, but I know for myself, I didn't. It wasn't something that I was like, oh, I really am wanting, another mall thing. Like I love mall.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't love mall. It's just, it's kind of like I think when Skeleton Crew came out and people were like, oh, this is fun. Like, it's unexpected. I think the mall show also was. I mean, unexpected but wanted by the mall fanatics out there, which I totally
Oh
get
yeah.
it. But for me, I was surprised, and it was a good surprise, and I'm still really looking forward to see kind of how they bridge kind of the gap in the years between when we see him last and then kind of how his story kind of ended in Clone Wars. So yeah, I think it's more just a curiosity of what they're gonna do with the story and with the character overall.
A flashback from him escaping the Venator into that next wherever he happens to be would be awesome. I
Yeah.
totally
Oh
agree.
yeah.
Where it's like, we've picked up, but it's like, but what happened after that?
Yeah, there's plenty of times and space, especially for Maul. It's like a year's gone by, so like what were you doing? You know, you didn't orchestrate everything that we see in Maul Shadow Lord episode 1 and 2 just like that, you know. So, yeah, that's a good point. That'd be really cool to see where he kind of left off. I mean, for me, you know me, I always love a flashback. I would love to see a young Maul getting taken in by Palpatine. Maybe somehow, some way, if Palpatine is able to send the Empire to Janix, and of course the planet would shut down, from what we know, and Brander was talking about it. They would have to shut down the planet if the Empire arrives. So that would be cool, is if Maul can sense some connections to Palpatine again, and maybe he gets these flashbacks. And when he was talking to Rook Cast, he was talking, you know, when he was like in his like little trance, Rook was like, did you have like visions again, you know, or something like that. So that'd be cool, you know, if we could go back in time a little bit and see like some trauma with Maul, you know, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I'd like to see kind of some of his visions and things too, because he's always talking about, what he's seen kind of through the forest. And I don't know, I would like to see, I guess, behind the scenes into Mole's brain a little bit, because I think I said this on Chris's show that I was on earlier this week, and I think it's really true. They talk about Clone Wars was kind of, Ashley has said, kind of seen through Ahsoka's eyes, and so we see Maul
Mm.
being calculated, but he's kind of seen as more chaos and just kind of off the cuff a little bit, just doing what he wants for revenge. And we know, I think, from the audience kind of seeing, though, that he is a lot more calculated than it kind of seems,
Oh
his
yeah.
his anger and his rage. And so I would kind of love to see that play out in the show and see him, manipulating more behind the scenes. They kind of go into it with Rebels a little bit more. We kind of see, how he comes off as,
The
this
shadow.
like kind of kooky, old Sith, but he's very calculated and he's very manipulative. And so
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that too in this.
Hmm.
The last time we saw Rook Cast, it was like
Hi.
the Maul left the Mandalorians to get taken by the clones. So it's like
Die well, Mandalorian.
now she's just working with him again. So it's
Yeah.
like out of nowhere, it's just you left all them to die, and now you're right back with
Oh,
them.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Speaking of females, man, freaking Rook Cast. I need some more. You know, we got the
I
Funko Pop that
know.
just released, but I need a new minifig. I need a Rook Cast.
Yes.
You know, I need her to be incorporated in a Lego set because that would just, make me happy. But I don't know,
I've
man.
already
I
been looking for like clothing, like,
Oh yeah,
because she has like that really beautiful, like, it's almost like a maroonish,
Hmm.
like,
it's like a
color. And I'm,
lavender kind
oh,
of,
yeah,
not
yeah,
not as
so pretty.
purpley, but red. It's like a reddish lavender.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a
And
unique
we love
color for sure.
Vanessa, so
Mm-hmm.
seeing
Yep.
her play a baddie is fun.
Right. Yeah. Hera's too good
I mean, Hera's like
for
a
her to.
baddie in her own way, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, for sure. But so after these first two episodes, guys, what are we thinking is gonna happen tonight? Like episode 3 and 4. I did have the episode titles pulled up, but I accidentally exited out. Um, but tonight's episodes are called. No, where's that? Oh, okay. Episode 3 is Whispers in the Unknown. In chapter 4, not Ford like the cars, Pride and Vengeance. So, Whispers in the Unknown, what would we think that is?
I think, I mean, I maybe something to do with Devin. Like, I feel like there's got to be that precedent set of the connection between Maul and Devin. So it's like, she released herself from the cell as Maul wanted her to. And like the Legacy Hill is talks about her seeing, not seeing through, like being afraid. So it's like, there's that difference between her master Ikadaki, um, and then Maul, who's, as Jessica said, just like a chaotic neutral going forward.
Yeah. Hmm. I don't know. I keep looking at this title, The Whispers in the Unknown. So yeah, I mean, Devin could be a very strong indicator, like being kind of like a lead in this episode because she just pushed herself out of the little like prison cell or whatever that was kind of more so it seemed like set up as like a trap for Maul. It was just kind of like a let's see how she can get out of this pretty much. So I don't know, dude. I really think yeah, I think that seems fair, right? I mean, Whispers in the Unknown, that could be anything. It's unknown. Like what do we know about it? After these first two episodes. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would think it maybe would have to something to do with Devin too, because I think out of a lot of the characters that they're focusing on, she's the person that like her past and her unknown is what a lot of people are wanting to know. And so yeah, I would assume it has to probably do with like her and her past too. And I feel like that seems like a very Dave Filoni title for an
Mm,
episode.
Hmm.
I think of like Ahsoka, like Shadow Warrior, different things like that. Like it's giving the very like mythical, like mysterious vibes of some kind of answer, some kind of flashback, some kind of what's going on behind this character. And I would think I don't know if it's just like a personal desire for it to be about Devin, but that would be
yeah.
probably my assumption too.
And
Yeah.
we had the like the cop situation. So like that police force is well aware of who they're dealing with. And so, I'm thinking
Mm,
about questions in the unknown. It's like, okay, are we trying to dig in more into like the Shadow Council, or I'm sorry, the Shadow Collective, and it's like the different things of Maul's past from this cop's point of view, where it's like, okay, me and this robot two boots, we got to go figure it out.
yeah. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm thinking too. Especially, you actually make a good point too about the, Dave Filoni going in. He goes in hard with his characters and his story.
Yeah.
He has a setup, but it seems like everything in Star Wars, especially in series, Episode 5 of whatever the season or series is, that's like the heavy hitter. And not to jump into next week, but Chapter 5 is called Inquisition. So
Oh,
obviously, it seems like we're really going to be leading up into the Inquisitors. Um, but if I am going to jump ship, I'm going to jump into chapter 4, Pride and Vengeance, and kind of bouncing off John's idea with, Brander and Two Boots trying to get things figured out. I think this is where the like marshal that overlooks everything, that one lady, I can't believe I forgot her name. She had that short mention talking about like, hey, the higher ups are going to get the Empire involved if y'all can't figure this out. So I think these two episodes are really going to go into that, leading into that trailer scene where you see Brander sitting down and in the darkness Marok's hands go right over his shoulder. Like the horror fan in me will be screaming and jumping in the watch party tonight if that happens. But I think that's how that episode ends, leading into chapter 5, titled Inquisition. So yeah, that's what I think's gonna happen. But I'm like two for like 1,200 on predictions in Star Wars, so that's just that'd be one that would be really cool. JT Lovecraft said, "Did you notice in every new title card that pops up at the beginning of the episode so far, two for two had Maul scream audibly faint in the background?" No, I did not. I had
Sam
no idea
Witwer,
about that.
please insert.
Yeah, can we
Yeah.
use your voice just one more time? I know you're like voicing the main
I
character,
love that
but
they
just
have it
just a
in
little
his
bit more.
lightsaber too. So cool.
It's so
So
cool, and I also
money.
love all of the content creator friends and accounts that have just all given their take on it. That's something that's really cool that I've noticed in the community as well. Is just everyone is giving their 2 cents about how cool that is, and that's just like a small detail, that I feel like a lot of people could easily overlook, but the fact that everyone, especially in the fandom, is just like, okay, that's awesome. I love to
Yeah.
see that. That's so cool.
Sound design
I
is
love when the
so
fandom's
interesting
happy.
to me and how so many things are layered and it's a sound that doesn't even exist and it was just created for something, but you can't find it anywhere else, you know? It's
Right.
just iconic. I love it.
You always see
Yeah.
like the Disney movies of how they create certain sounds, and it's like some guys like I just heard this when I was out walking around, and I
Mhm.
had to replicate it with like two pieces of wood. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like, man, you are a creator. I love that. Like AI can never do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Screaming and jump. Yes. Yeah. Hopefully tonight will be cool. It'll also be, like 2:30 a.m. Central Standard Time for me. So it'll be in the middle of the night. So I can't be like screaming, but I can scream quietly. I think I might be in the next two episodes before the Inquisitor action. Yeah. 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 I don't know. I feel like once the Empire, because it's very clear that the Empire is going to Janix, like that, there's almost, you can't go around that. But I really do think that once that happens, that's when this show takes off. I feel like these first four episodes are really just gonna be like, okay, what's the tone here? Let's set this up. Now let's, it seems like Maul and Devin are really gonna get this third episode going, if not just Devin, and then her possibly linking back up with Master Iko Diodaki. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a good episode, but then I think episode 4 is going to be that one that just like kind of shoots us off in the next week, and then it's really just a wild ride from there. So,
Give me that.
Jimmy,
Give me that shot of the Star Destroyer sitting over Janix.
oh dude, that's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Where can we find that? Like who can we buy that from, or do we just need to like
I'm
screenshot it and print
I'm
it
going to
at
Etsy at some point. Yeah, dude.
Walgreens?
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
no, for real.
animation is so pretty. Screaming
Yeah, it
Tingle.
really is. We were talking about how good it looked before you joined us, Jessica, because it's just we both watched on an iPad, and I mean you can still capture good quality on Apple products, and that's a thing on its own. But last night I watched it on the 4K TV, and I was just like, oh my, there's so
Yeah.
many like little like brush strokes that I didn't see. It's really nice. It's stunning visually. It's visually stunning.
Yeah, it's hard for me to watch anything like first on like a small screen.
Oh yeah. It's
But I
more
guess
so
if
of
you're
like
staying
just
up
doing
late
what
and
I
you're wanting
can.
to watch it at night and not like keep somebody up, sometimes that's just, that and some
Yeah.
headphones. That's how you got to
It's a
do
good
it.
fight. It's fighting a
Yeah.
good fight.
Well, that's what I was thinking at first, because I was like, okay, I can prop the iPad up just right here and just kind of watch. That way I can still get the camera here, because if I put it on the TV, this is what I'm looking like for the watch party.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to see like the side of my face. Like, but yeah, man, I'm super excited. What's John, you staying up tonight to watch it?
We'll be here, dude. I gotta take a fat nap, but yeah, I'll be right there with you.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be another long night, but yeah, you just got to get a nap right before. I felt great last week. Jessica, you staying up late?
I my sleep schedule is so horrible. I'm trying to go to bed tonight at a good time and probably watch it tomorrow.
That's good. That's good
But
too.
I could have last week. My plan was to go to bed early, and then I stayed on the phone way too late catching up with my friend Tiara. You know Tiara, and we were like, oh,
Yeah,
we could
yeah.
have watched Maul at this point.
You're like, hey, should we just FaceTime and just throw them
Yeah,
all on at the same
probably
time?
should have, but it was we got to go to sleep.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. Yeah, hopefully hopefully it's all good, and that way you can like enjoy it tomorrow. That's what I used to do with the Book of Boba Fett. I would, if I was too tired, I would just make sure spoilers were off. I would just wake up the next morning, watch, all was well. So
Yeah.
it's if you stay up and watch it, it's cool. And for us, it's just fun to kind of just like, connect with the community, and plus we
Oh
have the time
yeah, I
to
love it. I love it. I
watch
wish it
and
was a little bit
yeah.
earlier of a, I don't know,
Yeah. I
really,
missed
I
the
can't
8
I can't say
p.m.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
like a
John's
Sunday
got the
night
West
thing
Coast.
instead or something.
Yeah, I know. Stinks. But that's okay. At least the episodes are, like from Jimmy, Jack, and Charlie from Explore the Force were able to see the first 8 episodes of Maul Shadow Lord. So Jimmy, and all the insight that he had, it seems like from what I've picked up is that all of the episode times are going to roughly kind of be the same. So it's nothing, that's going to keep us up way too late. But then it's, the only gripe I had with the first 2 episodes is that the run times were just a little too short for me. But it's okay, I guess. Good
Maybe
things
that's why
all
they're
have
doing two
bad
at a
sides.
time.
Maybe, yeah. And maybe that's why they're like, yeah, second season, let's just go ahead and get it going, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can't be too mad at that.
No.
Man, any what? There's an. I'm also trying to think like tonight if we were to see anything with Maul more, is it gonna? I feel like it's time for him to get more aggressive. And what I mean by that is just kind of Devin obviously is this character that's gonna set up to be like his apprentice, but who knows if that's actually gonna how it's gonna happen. I really think there's gonna be like a falling out at some point, and because I mean, where's she been at? But you know, John does have the Devon Izara's legacy lightsaber. We know that she's probably going to be a big character going forward. I mean, Disney's not just going to make stuff for like display pieces and actual hundreds of dollar merchandise
Yeah.
pieces
So
just to
so
be a one-off character.
the one thing that came with it, well, one of the two, some of the things was this painting or
Oh,
photo
that's cool.
of Maul and Devon. So it's like this is straight from the show, So it's like, when does this shot come up? Like,
Right.
this is probably versus the Inquisitors, but like, that's going to be something where, they specifically gave us that shot in her legacy box, like not her and her master or just her, like it's her and Maul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
What's the, I
I
know you
mean,
got
I'm
that
sure you guys
lightsaber
have
though.
already talked about this, but do we think she's Talon?
Mm,
I think in it, like in a sense, but no,
Okay. Like, you don't think they're gonna give her that name, but
no, yeah,
okay.
like she just happens to also be like a Twilight apprentice that will probably turn into a somewhat dark side user, but I think
Yeah.
that's like very EU-ish, and they're like, nah, they want to stay away from that.
I just like I look at everything from like a I kind of okay. I don't feel like this is a cheat. I feel like this is a very like adult thing to do, I guess. I don't know. I look at
uh-oh.
everything from like a PR like marketing perspective, and I feel like I've been able to kind of in my mind be like, okay, I think they're going to go this way with something because of like how they push stuff. And I try not to do it because then I think I feel like I ruin things for myself. But seeing so many like licensed companies like Heroes and Villains come out with like Talon
Mm,
stuff, I'm like, okay, what is this? You know, like that makes me
right.
question it, I think a little.
Yeah, I feel like my take is that Devin is a like inspiration for of Darth Talon. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, this can work, and the whole like let's redeem George's sequels or whatever. It's like whatever, that's a whole other conversation. But like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that's what they're pulling from it, then that's cool. Like kind of giving back and like in honor of George Lucas and like his ideas for like stories to come forward. So I think that part's really cool. But Maul is not a Sith anymore, so he can't really just be like, "You are my apprentice, and your name is now Darth Talon or
Right,
Darth
yeah, yeah.
whatever." He doesn't have that. He's not able to do that because he's not a Sith anymore, and that's what's kind of cool about this show. Being called Shadow Lord is it's like in Clone Wars, he dropped the Darth, of course, but it's just like Maul is Maul. And sometimes I have a hard time calling him Maul because it's like, no, that's Darth Maul.
Right.
But
Yeah, yeah.
it's Maul.
They
So
can kind of do
yeah.
whatever they can, in a way, kind of do whatever they want with it. And I love when they're. I feel like when you get into. I'm trying to think the best way to phrase this. So like when you get into, I love all of the movies, and I know I get hate for that, but I love them all,
How
and
dare you?
and, and but when you play within the timeline of the Skywalker trilogy, right? Like because there's so much kind of set in stone, and they can play with it a little bit because of the whole like from a certain point of view. So like you don't have to completely stick to things sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, we've seen it in the fandom. It's like an uproar if you try to change anything or if you mess with people's like canon or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially within the Skywalker like time. But I feel like when you have shows like this, when you have things like Skeleton Crew, when you have things that they kind of can live in their own world. I love that because Maul's not Darth Maul, he's Maul. And because we're in this like area that we're in, they can kind of play with that and add what they want and what they don't, and kind of just, it gives, I think, the writers and people a little bit more freedom to kind of explore new things in Star Wars. Maybe even explore with the Force a little bit. Explore the Force, but you know what I mean. Like they can. I don't know. It's just, it feels more like a playground for people that are writing and creating these stories, because there is a little bit of freedom when you step outside of that
Yeah.
era. I mean, even though they're in the era, but you know what I mean, because it's a story within it that's kind of its own thing. Does that make sense? Sorry,
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
my cold brain is kind of like a little slower right now. So
Well, and that's
No,
one of the
you're good.
things that I really like how they like with Janix. It's like, I and same with like the Mando and Grogu, how they brought in different planets. It's like, we get so many episodes and movies and content of like, oh, we're going back to Hoth, or we're going back to like these different locations, and it's like I love when they bring in the like Janix is a new location to us. Like they can world build whatever they want. They can make this grimy underground city. And just like you said, like they have the ability and more or less the free will of not ruining the continuity. And it's like, no, we're
Yeah.
just gonna build this whole world. It's a whole galaxy for Star Wars. Like they can throw a planet and completely do something, and then be like, okay, this is where we're establishing this arc.
Mm-hmm.
thank
Yep,
you. You said
that's a
that
good
better than
point.
I did, because my brain's really fuzzy.
No, no, you killed it. That was
That's funny. Yeah, nah, and that's the cool thing because it's like, Tatooine is where we started with Star Wars, and we see it in The Mandalorian, we see it through the prequels. Um, you get a little glimpse of them at the end of the sequels. So, I mean, there's so many points where it's like, oh, okay, now we're back to Tatooine. Book of Boba Fett, how could I forget? So you're just like, yeah, wow, cool, Tatooine. But I really like how they are branching off into different planets because we just got a Star Wars galaxy map, like this time last year, and there are so many planets and locations, and there's even like an online version of it that you can like zoom in and it's like new planets pop up and you're like, What?" Like there, so Aten being a planet, that's really cool. Like when we were talking about Skeleton Crew earlier, it's nice to know that there are planets that are completely blocked off from the
those
galaxy
hidden
and like
planets.
literally, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And you can say it's like lazy writing or whatever, but it's just like, I mean, it's not, because you can technically do whatever you want. And I feel like that's what's cool about Dave Filoni and what they're doing with this story, is because there's what, 18 years that they have to work with, 13 years of Maul. So it's just like they can really do whatever they want. So you can make a planet, uh, something two, and then it's just like, yeah, cool. Like that's a planet. It's a new one, and we can roll with it, and new characters as well. So it's
and
it's
and
all
like
good.
in Rebels they had, in Rebels there was the arc where Ezra sneaks into Thrawn's like his command office to erase the planet from the star map. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay, well, if that's the official star map that the Empire has, or the Republic, it's like how many times over the old Republic, all that time that planets have been selectively like, taken
Yeah,
away. So
I
they
mean,
could
we see
just
that in the
like,
prequels too.
yeah.
Not even knowing that a clone army was being created. So I mean, I
yeah,
think, yeah.
Palpatine was doing everything. How did no one sense this? What? So yeah, Star Wars is funny in that way. I feel like, sometimes we really dive in way too deep to it, and you start thinking like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But then you're like, oh yeah, this is a space
movie.
fantasy movie and TV series that I love so much, and it's, unfortunately, it's not real, but it's real in my head. In my head
Yeah,
canon,
and
Star
it's like
Wars
it's that whole.
exists.
It kind of goes back to the whole like that. It's not even. It's like space fantasy, but it's like it's also like an. I think George calls it like a space opera. So like it has that like
Yeah,
that drama that kind of is
The
like,
novella.
yeah, yeah. Like it's not supposed to always make sense, and I think that kind of breaks our brain a little bit, because like we want that continuity. We want everything to flow, but it's he didn't even care if people pronounce the words the same, because it's like, oh, well,
yeah,
different people are going to say things different. People are going to remember things different. So you can call
good point.
that whatever you want to call it, but I think it kind of makes Star Wars fun and what it is.
Oh yeah, Yeah, they're like if you go back and like watch the original trilogy, it's just like, everyone's calling Han Han, but it's like here comes Lando, this smooth guy out of nowhere, and he's like, Han, yo, Han. And then they take that and translate that back to even Solo, the Solo a Star Wars story, and Childish Gambino's Lando is even calling him Han just to kind of like pull off of that to make it make more sense. And yeah, it's just different. It's
Yeah.
perspective, and just like Star Wars, as fans, we have so much different perspectives on how we look
Mm-hmm.
at things. So
Yep.
that's what makes it fun, and that's what also makes it realistic. So I love that
Yeah,
Star
and that's what
Wars
keeps it, I think,
carries that in.
alive too, because it's kind of one of those things where, like, if there wasn't something for us to even, you know, take it in like a not a cynical way, but like if there wasn't something for fans to debate and like argue about, like who would even care at that point,
Yeah,
Like I think that's kind of one of the beautiful things about Star Wars is everyone is so opinionated. I think we can be sometimes a little more respectful in how opinionated we are, but
hmm,
it's okay to have those opinions and it's okay to have those debates and talk about stuff because I mean that's what keeps it going. That's what
yeah,
keeps it going from one generation to the next, and we want this to stay alive and to go forever and to continue to pass it down, and that's the mythos of it. And I think people are doing so well with that, and I think that's something that people don't really think about is part of myth, which is such a core of what Star Wars is it is orally, you know talked about through generations. If you go back
yeah,
to the myth of like the gods in mythology, whether it's Greek or Roman or whatever you want to look into, all of that kind of changed as time went on, and people had their own kind of like thoughts and opinions. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about Star Wars is that it is built on this story, and we're sitting here talking about it. And I can talk to my parents about it who saw it in the 70s, and
yeah,
you can talk to a 5-year-old about it. And it's just beautiful how Star Wars still sticks to that what it is, and it's this mythos, it's this story, and it's something that we can all have different theories and thoughts and perspectives. And I don't know, it makes it fun. I don't think everybody has to be right, because where would be the fun in
yeah.
that? you know
It'd be boring if we were all the same.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's very factual. Those are some good points. I can't say that I don't, not agree with those, because that's literally just how it is. It really does. That's the same thing as like I can talk to my dad and my grandma about like when Star Wars came out way back in the day, and then we talk about like when it came out when I was growing up. Like when us three were growing up, and then going forward, like our kids and all that stuff, like going into the future, it's like what's their take on it, because obviously they're going to pull from what how we receive it and how we push it out to the next generation. And it's just it's a continuating loop just over and over, and that's Star Wars is timeless. Everyone doesn't seem to realize how Star Wars will forever go on. That's why it's just like when I see, people saying, "Oh, Star Wars is so back," and it's like, "Hey, we've been
Never
here. Star
left.
Wars ain't
Never
going
left.
nowhere," So, there's a difference between being hype and calling Maul Shadowlord peak and
Mhm.
saying, "Oh, Maul Shadowlord's here. We're like Star Wars is officially back," and it's like, shit, we've been back. Even Rise
Yeah,
of
it
Skywalker,
might not have
we're
been
still
back for
here.
you, but it's been
Yeah,
back for
yeah, it's always gonna be here. I
When I,
And
it's
I think that's too, like, Maul is great. And this show is great for what it is, but not everything is meant to be this gritty, action packed, violent, revenge fueled thing. Like, that's a part of Star Wars, but that's not it. Like the lightsabers, the fight sequences, all of that is cool and it's amazing, and how they create it and they do it, but it, the heart of what Star Wars is, and I think I can go back to even like the maker on this is like it is that story of hope, is that story of that found family and people overcoming, you know, the David and Goliath type story, right? You know, the
Yeah.
rebellion beating the empire, the good beating the bad, or the light beating the dark, you know, however you want to do it. And I think if Star Wars was only like Maul Shadow Lord, I don't think it would have the, I don't know, the soul of it. And so
Yeah, it all has to be different.
yeah, and so like to say Star Wars is back because we have this gritty, dirty, violent show, I feel like just misses the bigger picture of what Star Wars is. I mean, we can be excited and love this for what it is. I mean, I would love. I know a lot of people would love this, but I would love to see a Vader show in like his
Mm,
prime. A lot of people would love it,
mm.
and I know I roll. I know. It's surprising
Don't get
coming from
John
me.
started.
I know. However, if we don't get it, I'm okay with that because we don't need it. We don't need
I
it.
need it.
Um, but
I need.
I just feel like if we go too far down that road, then you're giving in to too many things. And so why would it be cool to see that? Sure, but there's the comics, you know? Would it be cool to see that on the screen? Sure. But at the end of the day, I think that we lose what Star Wars is the more we go down that road, if that makes sense. Like, would that be cool and
Yeah,
awesome and whatever? Sure, but like there's
that's
two
valid.
sides of me. Like, would that be cool? Yes. But like it still needs to be Star Wars.
Well,
You
and
know?
I loved Andor. Andor was like a really big show for me, and I it got a lot of flack from the community, and like that's okay. People weren't interested in like the slower spy IS. I like for me, I love seeing
Yeah, I love
ISB. I love
Andor.
seeing the inner workings.
Yes.
Um, so like again, it's back in some segments for some people, but it's like, the Mando great project. Like Book of Boba Fett had great episodes. Like there's been so many different things that have been coming out where it's like it's been great stuff, like great content for the last like 10 years. It's just been it's just selective to those
Yeah.
people. And then it's the same thing where it's like, with these generations growing up, like you said, Star Wars will always be here. And like I think about the people who like your parents who grew up with The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, like, the group that had Phantom Menace. Myself grew up with The Revenge of the Sith. There's kids that grew up watching the Clone Wars. There's kids growing up now that'll watch Maul, and that'll be what sets them up. So it's like, the Mando movie coming out is gonna do the same thing. So it's like we got the next 50 years of fans lined up already.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's not even hard to like not see that because it's right there. And
Hmm.
especially
Yeah.
when you have, when we've talked about it many times, but like when you have a character like Grogu that's the same species as Yoda, you have endless content for years. Like now, like maybe in 20 years, like after we have like Grogu's trilogy of him like as a 400-year-old Mandalorian Jedi and he's like the next Tar Vizsla, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, now I can see, why even our kids and their kids will, have Grogu. And it's like, man, I saw when he was captured from a pram, like there was a bounty on his head. Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's timeless stuff right there.
Whatever they
Um,
do, I think as long as they keep that heart in it. And I think
yeah,
it'll still be in the mall show too. Like,
yeah,
so I have faith in them and what they're doing, and I am glad that they're kind of giving us a little bit of everything.
yeah. I love that too. Um, Mr. Cameron from Limitless Nerd has an insane theory right here that I'm gonna put on screen. He says Inquisitors will get called in to kill Dino Master. Devin and Maul will team up, and the Empire will realize that them together is a bigger problem. Enter Vader. Vader needs to kick Maul's butt badly. And
Yes.
part two is Maul has to get it handed to him bad by Vader in his show. He says, I cannot defeat Vader alone in Rebels. How would he have known unless he tried and failed? He's
Yeah.
scared of him in Rebels. So yeah, that's a really good point. And maybe it takes a couple of them. Maybe this is where maybe that is where, Mr. Dino Master dies, is just at the hands of Vader, which I mean that's always a good way to go out, right? Like if you're a Star Wars character, if you go out in any
Mm-hmm.
fashion, it has to be to Vader, right? Like,
Yep.
uh, so
Send him to
yeah,
the Amber
that'd be cool.
Chamber.
Yes,
Send
get
him
him
to
out of here.
Inquisitorius. Yeah.
And I
Get him
love
out
how
of
just
here.
that little line can create a whole story, right? And it's like the same thing with like you brought up Solo, but it's
Yeah,
that one little line, and I don't know. I love how Star Wars does that.
I love
You have
that
this whole
picture where
theory
it's
on this one line of dialogue, and it's so true.
yeah, it is. I love
My,
that picture of Dave Filoni in the chair like this, and it says "Absolute Filoni." It's just like hell yeah. That's literally what that is right there. That's absolute Filoni.
I can't see my boy Vader get beat on screen again. Like it just I can't take another L.
No, that's my thing, dude. In the Jedi Survivor game, I'm like, okay, hey, I don't hate Seer. Seer is a great character. She did so well. But I'm like, hey, she's not, hurting Vader to that sense. You know what I'm saying? Cal every time has to run away. And I'm just like, come on, Seer. Like, no way, no way, no way. But yeah, I mean, I think if Seer can whoop on Vader, I think, it's Vader could be vulnerable at any time. And plus, this is you also have to think in the timeline, Vader has only been in this suit for a year now, and he's probably still learning his new body and trying to figure things out. He still could be going through those like early stages of torture from Palpatine and his, out of date suit like that Vader has. So
Like the
I
full
don't know.
robot leg, because he's not gonna have the full black suit that we know him in. It's still gonna be
Right.
like a beat up prototype type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be so sweet, dude.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And plus, like, there's also like Hot Toys where it shows like damaged parts of Vader, and like you can
Mm-hmm.
like display that, of course, however you want. But that'd be cool. Is like if we get to see some of those imperfections of Vader, as Vader gets sprinkled into the show. Because I mean, from what it sounds like at the end, more than likely Vader's gonna show up. I would think it's gonna be Vader has like a 95% chance of showing up, and then maybe 5% of Palpatine. I feel like Palpatine's kind of going to be like how he was in Andor, where you feel him in the background, but you never see him. And I think that's what's going to happen towards the end of the series as a whole.
We got to see Marok die too. I don't know if that'll be a season two thing, but we still got to see how he ends up being that Dathomir ghost spirit from Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, because if Master Dino, according to Limitless Nerd, if Iodaki goes against the Inquisitors, whatever, I feel like that's a cool little like side point and like a duel for Star Wars. That's gonna be great to see that. But I think Maraka does have to die, and somehow maybe Maul kind of like keeps him as like a trophy of some sort, takes him back to Dathomir, or has Scorn and Icarus take him back to Dathomir, and that's when they get him suited up and they
Patch him up.
hand him off to yeah, basically patch him up, repair him, resurrect him with Night Sister magic, and then send him off to Morgan Elsbeth. Or
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe
Who
they all
knows?
survive, and Marak survives 20 more years, and then here comes the Mandoverse and then Ahsoka season 2. But we know that he did die at some point, and we know that the Crow Inquisitor will die as well with to Ahsoka Tano. But yeah, I wonder when does Tales of the Jedi take place?
It would be recent because Ahsoka still doesn't have her lightsabers yet.
And then that's when she was going by Fulcrum at that in that episode, right?
Yeah, that was the beginning stage of her career as a gray Jedi.
Yeah, she goes by Ashla too a little bit,
That's
like in the
right.
book.
Yeah. So it's not Fulcrum at that point, I don't think. That's more of like Rebels, I believe. Okay, so am I tweaking? Okay, so the Sith Lord only occurs in the Phantom Menace. No, that's not right either. Takes place during Padme's funeral. No, I hate Google sometimes.
You looking at the
But
AI?
no, dude, those are always chopped. You can even look yourself up, and it's like, yeah, Clan Brandalorian's a proclaimed podcaster. It's like, no, I'm not. I am not. You got me messed up. Um, but yeah, it's like whenever that takes place, basically, that's how we know how long the 11th brother is alive for. But we do know that both of them, just died
Eight
to
months.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka is not playing around, dude. Like, it's insane, actually. But yeah, dude, I'm super excited for tonight. How excited are we? Like, Jessica, we'll start with you. How excited are you for these next two episodes of Maul Shadow Lord?
I'm really excited. I'm excited to see. I don't know. I love background of characters, and so that's why
Hmm.
Devin really intrigues me a lot. I kind of want to see, like her story, like how they survived Order 66, what they've been doing. This planet itself really is interesting to me because I think just like with Andor, I find it very interesting. I don't know, just how things kind of line up with the real world and like things that we're going through here. And so to see kind of a planet that went through like a transition from the Republic to the Empire. And it seems like they kind of did a like, hey, if it's not bothering me, like I'm just gonna keep quiet and do my own thing. And we see that eventually people always have to make a choice and you kind of have to take a stand and take a side. So I'm interested to kind of see maybe if we get, through, I don't know, the storyline of like, all of them, like what happened during Order 66. And they're very much not wanting to bring the Empire into this and why. But, I don't know, like all of that, I'm kind of interested to see. Outside of Star Wars, I also love like true crime. And
Mm.
so I'm very interested to see kind of how the just the difference between, you see different places and how like law enforcement is with, crime lords, whether they kind of let them run and like, hey, if you stay in your corner and you do this thing, we're going to kind of turn the other way. And, you see
Yeah.
it in like, mob shows on TV, all that kind of stuff too. But I'm kind of interested to see this in the Star Wars universe, how that kind of works out and how different people, who's an informant and who's working here and who's doing this, and how is Maul able to kind of do all his revenge and plans and his, I don't know. I like the
Yeah.
behind the scenes things, and so that's what I'm interested in seeing, especially with this episode coming out next. What is that? What is going on? And will we get
Yeah.
answers or will that be later? So I don't know. That's kind of where I am.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good track to get behind because you never know until you start watching it. And it's always completely different than what you expect. That's why it's always fun to like theorize and try to predict exactly what's going on. But yeah, those are good. John, how excited are you for tonight, man?
I'm pretty stoked. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like we've been talking about the pacing of the show, how they've been doing pretty good. So it's like again, and we were talking. Jessica touched on the law enforcement, and in our last show we were talking about how it's like the everyday gritty cop going about his business. So for me, it's like I would love to see an Order 66 flashback for Devin and their master. Like, why are they on Janix? We have the everyday cop with two boots doing his search for Maul and his background. We have the Maul plant, like how did he get with these Dathomir dudes and how are they doing their thing? Um,
Yeah.
so it's like I'm asking for all that background, but am I gonna get it? I don't know, man. Like I feel like this is gonna be we get into this episode and I feel like this is the last episode without the Empire. It's like
Yeah.
he's been pushing like we don't want the Empire, we don't want the Empire, you know, sh she kind of hit the fan and at the end of this last episode, kind of enough to not be noticed more or less. So it's like, okay, this is gonna be the last time he gets away with it. Empire comes in next, and then we get to see the really the upbringing of the show where it's like, okay, they're on the run from the Empire. They have to confront them now. It's not just like a Maul running from a law enforcement contingent.
Yeah. Yep. I'm on board with that as well. I'm super excited. And I do love that, Brander's kind of going to get his, maybe his potential, like, ah, damn it, got to go to work today kind of cop, like just because it's like, what am I going to get into? Like he just got like knocked out cold by Maul he's kept alive. So what like what is Brander's position going to be going forward? So they might touch a little bit on that tonight. So I'm excited to see what they end up doing with Brander, what they end up doing with Devin, and like I said, I think episode 4 is going to end with that shot of Maroc reaching over and like putting his arms on or his hands on Brander's shoulders. I think that's what's gonna happen. That those creepy ass Inquisitors. What the hell are you doing? I'd be like, man, don't touch me. Who's behind me? but but yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, before we get off here, guys, thank you to everyone who chimed in today. Already an hour. It feels like we just started like 20 minutes ago. It's kind of crazy, but super good stream. I appreciate everyone chiming in. And Jessica, thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys
Before
so much
we,
for having me. Like, really,
yeah,
thank
no
you so
problem.
much.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. Are you going to Rebel ScumCon this year?
I believe so. I believe that is the
Yep.
plan.
Sweet. Yep.
Squad.
We'll all be there.
Yep.
We'll all be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we hop off, let everyone know where they can find you once again. And yeah, the floor is yours yet again, Jessica. Have it, just have it.
You can find me on Instagram threads, and then I also have the YouTube channel for Rebellion of Hope, but the handle is the Rebellion of Hope. And yeah, that's about it for Star Wars stuff. I believe I'm going to be starting to have new episodes in May. I have a really busy rest of April. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of officially start back with stuff in May. Probably do more lives than actual like episodes to kind of just like start out, and go from there. Really excited.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we're
I
excited
love that.
too. And hey,
Yeah.
May is a good month to start. You know, that's
It
Star Wars
is.
month.
It's a
So
good month. It'll be fun. I'm going to Star Wars night at Disneyland in April,
Oh, nice.
so it'll kind of have like a fun. I don't know. It's just gonna be. It's what is it like the season of the Force right now?
Yeah.
Send us a
Hell yeah.
picture when you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that's
Be
dope.
fun.
The force is
And
strong
I'm
with you.
actually gonna be there the last day that the timeline is the way it is right now. So I'm kind of curious to see
Oh, that's cool.
if they switch it over at night or what they're gonna do. So like if they'll keep it that way during the day, and then once it turns into Star Wars night, like officially, if it's gonna. I don't
It's
know, we'll see.
midnight. Get out.
Yeah, we'll see. Because it starts at 9, but you can get into the park early with your pass, a little early. So I'm curious to see how that's. I mean, they might just keep it the way the whole time. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. Hell yeah. That sounds fun.
Love that.
You know, like always jealous of everyone who gets to go, but I'm happy you guys get to go. You know, you get to go for me. That's like everyone who went to Star Wars Celebration the last couple of years. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch from my couch, but you guys are, you're going for me,
It was an experience. It was fun.
Yeah, it's like I'm happy for you guys, I'm glad you get to go. And so no hate. It's all good. But
Yes.
John, anything new coming from you, man? What's going on with you before we get off?
The only two things I got is I'll put something out, but I got our first Brandon, we got our first givey, dude. So the Saber Company,
Boom.
we're handing something out. So that'll be going out today or tomorrow. And then the last thing was I'll be posting the video, but yeah, I did go ahead and cop the
Hello.
the legacy hilt because it was just too cool, man.
Oh yeah. You are in there. A bunch of lightsabers on
Like
John's side.
swimwear.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Speaking of lightsabers, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna get the Anakin from Ahsoka one at Disney or not.
Do you here, hold on.
It's the one that changes color, and I want it so bad.
The hilt's rad.
Yes, it's so cool.
So like the OG
Damn.
Anakin,
It's so
is
cool. I want it
is
so
just
bad.
sweet. And so that's one of the ones where it's like, if you're gonna get a lightsaber, you just, or if you're
And
gonna get
it's
a hilt,
such a good size too for the Disney lightsabers. It's so good.
yep.
I
Damn.
mean, I
And
have a
you can't go
tattoo
wrong.
of Anakin, Vader, like from that scene in Ahsoka. I feel like I need the lightsaber.
Damn.
Oh, thank you.
You can't go
So,
wrong.
do you
That's
like
the
it? Are you glad that you got it?
I do. I only have four. I have Anakin's, I have Vader's, I have the Strangers right here, and then just this one that I got. But I mean, Vader's is my favorite because it's the OG, but it looks exactly like Anakin's. It's literally the same thing,
Yeah, yeah. I have
just
the
a little bit
Ahsokas,
different.
like the OG, like original ones from Rebels that they did.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I
Beautiful.
think I'm gonna have to do it. I mean, treat
Just
yourself,
do it.
right?
Yeah, just do it. Why not?
Yeah.
Might as well. Because if you don't get it, then you're like, I should have got it, and that's just stupid.
I know. I need to be peer pressured. Just peer pressure me into it.
Yeah. Buy it right now. Chat, everyone. We're gonna get off
Maybe
in
I'll
like
do it
1
on
minute.
Star Wars night.
There you go.
Everyone
Wait for the
spam the
discount in
comments.
May.
Jessica, buy it.
May 4th, get it
Jessica,
15%
buy
off.
it now.
I wish.
There we go. Maybe everyone will chime in. Hurry, 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 hurry. Everyone say Jessica, buy it. Jessica, buy it. Jessica, buy it. I think you just should buy it. Just don't even listen to anyone. Just do it.
I
Just do
almost
it.
did last time I was at Disneyland. It was so close.
Yeah.
Took
Yeah,
me 30
that means you
seconds.
need to
I
get it.
walked in. I was like, I want Anakin's. And they handed it to me. They're like, do you want a blade? Nope, I'm out of here.
See, they wouldn't let me do it, like, because it's in a box.
Ah.
So, like, you
I
have
see.
to get the blade. But it's a shorter blade, which is better for me because I'm short. So,
I was gonna say all the sabers that I have, I like the 28-inch blade because like 32 is like standard, but I like the short ones so much better.
They'd be
Yeah,
I
long.
know
Galactic.
he was trying to get me to buy it, but it's a good boyfriend.
Yeah, you tell her to
Yep.
buy it right now.
Keep it up.
He just wants me to buy it so that he can also, like, play with the
And that's
lightsaber.
okay. That's a good way to do it. And
I don't know
he's a
what
fellow
you're talking
Broncos
about.
fan. Yes, I love it. Yes, buy it. But all right, well,
See?
everyone, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate you joining. And Jessica, of course, thanks for joining us as a special guest
you.
for this week. Real quick, right before we end the stream, every episode of Clan Fett will be on Amazon, it'll be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I believe iHeartRadio next week. So if you guys can't catch us live here, it'll be on pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts and all that. But this is where the live stream will go. So yeah, just a heads up, if you missed the live, don't want to watch it on YouTube, then you can find it pretty much anywhere you can listen to people yap, and that's what we do. That is correct. What's hers is mine, or however y'all want to do your thing. That's fine. But yes, that's a good way to start. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and watch parties tonight. Be ready for the watch party tonight. If you're gonna stay up, come join us, and we're gonna talk about it live tonight as the episodes air. So links will be up later. So with all that being said, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, John. Thank you, chat. We love you so much. We will see you next week.
Appreciate y'all.
Later.